Good evening, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selena, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, no repairs to Penang Mill, reiterates Prime Minister. MSAF investigates sunken vessel. And work on new Rakiraki market begins.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama has reiterated there'll be no repairs to the Penang sugar mill in Rakiraki. This follows recent debates and political campaign by politicians calling for the repair or rebuild of the mill. Akusita Tale reports.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama is calling on Rakiraki residents to be wary of politicians lying about the sugar industry.
I've already said the Penang mill will not be rebuilt or repaired. You should go and see the state and the condition of the mill that it's in right now. There was also information passed about that some individual is saying that he can repair the mill for $4 million. That person should go and see the mill himself. This mill cannot be repaired again. It's going to cost us millions and millions of dollars.
Vorengem Bainimarama says money will be wasted if the mill is repaired because the government is aiming for a completely new mill. Penang is the country's smallest mill and sits just outside Rakiraki town. Over the years, it has made cumulative losses of nearly $37 million. The total cost of reinstating factory operations at the site is estimated at close to $40 to $50 million. However, the FSC says that the cost and return on rebuilding Penang is not viable for the sugar industry.
It is a commercial decision. The mill is very old. It will take a lot of money to repair and restart that factory, and we as a sugar industry in Fiji would much rather take that money and invest it where it'll give us a good return.
Graham Clark has confirmed that FSC will commence the feasibility on the new mill within the next 3 months.
We've done a lot of preliminary work already. A new sugar factory, though, takes between 22 and 30 months of construction. So we're looking at a 3-year time frame from when the decision is made to construct a new mill.
The Prime Minister assures Rakiraki cane growers won't incur any cost to transport cane to the Rarawai mill in Ba because the FSC will take care of this. Bainimarama is reassuring Penang mill workers that they will all be deployed to other mills. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji says there is no oil spill from the ill-fated cargo ship, the Southern Phoenix, which lies submerged in the Suva Harbour. Chief Executive John Tunindao says they're working with the Fiji Ports Authority to ensure any environmental catastrophe is avoided. A temporary exclusion zone in and around the area has now been set up to ensure the safety of smaller vessels coming into the harbour. A task force has also been initiated to map out an operational plan to salvage the vessel and its cargo, which lies strewn across the harbour.
After the initial deployment of booms around the ship to contain the oil spill or any oil slick, observant pads were used to observe any oil that may be spilled. Divers were sent in to close vents, and plans are now underway to extract remaining oil from the ship. But we can confirm as of now, there's no spillage from the ship. There was slight oil that was on the surface that has been dealt with, but it's been contained by the boomed area around the ship.
We now cross to Maggie Boyle for the latest update on the sunken Southern Phoenix. Maggie, can you tell us what's the next step the authorities are taking with regards to a possible salvage of the cargo ship?
Good evening, Jackie. Well, we've been blessed by showers to accompany us on this live update, giving you the latest of what's happening. The Marine Safety Authority of Fiji have begun investigations into what led to the sinking of the Southern Phoenix. MSAF CEO John Tunindao tells us that there is no time frame on those investigations. However, once it's concluded, they'll be able to make recommendations to ensure that an incident like this doesn't reoccur. Now, we understand with speculation is rife, of course, as to what happened. We understand understand there were some issues with the cargo ship, which is why they towed it away on Saturday away from the wharf to ensure that there was no structural damage. It moved out to here where it was unbalanced. It was listing at that point before it then sunk at a little after 1 o'clock on Saturday morning. Its cargo vessels, of course, all out this way. There's about a dozen of them that's strewn across this area. Any leaks, of course, have been contained. There are safety measures that MSF have been put in place. They're also running 24-hour surveillance with the Ports Authority to ensure that there are no spills and leakages, and that they are making sure that vessels as well coming into the harbour are escorted. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Maggie. The Fiji Military Forces is working on bringing gender equality into the institution. RFMF Chief of Staff Colonel Chone Koloni-Wai says they are strengthening the roles and responsibilities within the organisation. Sainiani Boiler reports.
Being a male-dominated institution, the Fiji Military Forces is working on handing over more operational tasks to female soldiers.
This is a very important area for us. We have a requirement in terms of peacekeeping operations. It's a 15% to 30% requirement that we try and meet a quota for female participation in United Nations peacekeeping operations.
Opening the gender, violence against women and human rights training for the RFMF, Women Minister Merseni Wuniwanga said the male-to-female ratio of soldiers had improved over the years.
The ratio becomes even more skewed if we are to consider those females who are in positions of leadership and who actually influence decision-making in the military. With these statistics, training on gender becomes very critical for the military.
Koloni-Wai says the RFMF is currently working on recruiting more females into the force. The Fiji Military Forces currently has more than 100 female soldiers, of which some are deployed for overseas missions. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Work on the new $6 million new municipal market in Rakiraki will be complete in a year's time. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama officiated the groundbreaking ceremony of the new development today. Akusita Tale reports.
The new market will be home to 307 vendors as opposed to the 127 stalls in the market today. It will have an office for the market manager and modern bathroom facilities.
This is an investment, not just the market, but in the future of Rakiraki. It will significantly boost growth opportunities and promote the growth of small and medium-sized businesses. An expanded market facility means more opportunity.
Farmers and vendors have been urged to take advantage of the new opportunities that will come their way once construction is complete.
I'm here in Rakiraki market for about 25 years. I'm selling fruits and vegetables. Before I was selling all the groceries. When the Winston came and take all the things away. From that time we turn on the vegetables and fruits.
I'm really look forward for the new market because here the one that we're using now is just temporary one. We can't, can't fulfill what we want.
No market will go there. At the moment this is not good.
This is an investment of around $5.84 million. The government has contributed $2.64 million, while the balance has come from the Australian government and the UN Women.
Through our partnership with UN Women's Markets for Change program, the Australian government will provide 3.2 million Fijian dollars towards construction of the Rakiraki market upgrade.
The first floor of the market will have an open craft center and accommodation for women market vendors. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Customs officers from around the region will be able to better lead their different departments after completing the Pacific Leadership Program. Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority Chief Executive Viswanath Das says such programs are important to lift the standards of workplaces. Anna Ravulo reports.
20 participants from around the region have gathered in Suva to take part in the Pacific Leadership Program. The program is an initiative by the New Zealand Customs.
This leadership program provides the much needed tools, ranging from managing changes, managing transformation, managing people, and of course various other leadership tools to make workplaces better.
New Zealand High Commissioner to Fiji Mark Ramsden says the program will not only help custom officers in terms of leadership, but also keeping our borders safe.
We have a lot of shared interests around customs. Obviously, you know, we share many of the same risks, and customs is a really important thing to all of us. So the Pacific Leadership Program is an opportunity for us to sort of share our expertise, but also build expertise regionally.
The leadership program begins today and will have 4 phases which will go on for 8 months. Participants will include police and custom officers from Fiji, New Zealand, Solomon Islands and New Caledonia. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Still to come, primary health care vital, says Minister. And France elects new president. Details after the break.
Nimbula vinaka na yavangunga andi moala rana vika. O tikongona taunu singatoka ando talitaka na vakaronga na Mbula FM. Number 2 na serre.
We adora chubuli kurnambili. Iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Total takina na varonga na Mbula FM. Number 2 na serre. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Primary health care is vital in tackling the epidemic of non-communicable diseases in our communities. Keeping this in mind, nurses and senior staff of the Health and Medical Services Ministry are undergoing training to upgrade their skills on better ways to promote healthy lifestyles. Pranita Prakash has more.
These nurses and senior staff are getting first-hand information from communities on their lifestyle through their regular visits. This symposium is aimed to equip the health personnel to provide the right advice.
Their main focus is on health promotion, is enabling communities in Fiji to be able to improve their health and take control of their health.
Health Minister Rosie Akbar says primary health care can reduce unnecessary use of costly services and help prevent overprescribing of antibiotics.
Why are some people willing to allow their health to gradually deteriorate and condemn themselves to shorter lives, to a life that is possibly beset by discomfort and disability, and in doing so, create additional burdens for our health services as well as their families and their communities? We need to ask these questions why and how we can address that.
Fiji has the second highest rate of NCD-related deaths in the Pacific. It also contributes to about 80% of deaths among those below the age of 70 years. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
It's back to school tomorrow with parents and guardians finalizing their preparations. The consumer watchdog says some parents often come under pressure at this time trying to meet the demands of their children. Ropate Valeme reports.
Consumer Council Chief Executive Pramil Kumar says parents should be mindful of their spending while sending their children back to school.
But generally what we see is school kids, they normally put pressure on their parents. And they put pressure in terms of pocket money for their food. They'll put pressure to get some more notebooks and rulers and new pen. Because as children, they believe that when they start school, no matter which term, they must have everything new.
Kumar urges parents not to give in to that pressure.
We have generally seen that it's the kids who dictate parents' purchasing habits.
FBC News caught up with some parents who says they are ready to send their children for the second term of school.
It's best if we keep a close watch on our children. We need to check what they do in the afternoon.
I just want to say best of luck for the students who are going to school tomorrow. Best of luck for their future and wish them a best of luck.
I hope parents preparing well for back to school this week.
Term 2 commences tomorrow and ends on August 11th. Ropate Valeme, FBC News.
The Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development is rolling out training for rural carpenters to meet gaps in building standards in rural areas. 20 individuals received their certificate in carpentry over the weekend following a 10-day training session in Naweni Vakandrove. Eleanor Trangaivu reports.
This is the first of 4 trainings by the Ministry of Rural and Maritime Development and the Fiji National University for carpentry in the rural areas affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
After TC Winston, we set out to find why so many houses, even good big ones, were damaged or destroyed. We found that in many instances, while there was a building plan, it was not followed accordingly.
The 20 participants already have some knowledge in carpentry. One of the aims of the training is to enable rural carpenters to build homes that can withstand severe cyclones. The participants have been encouraged to further their training and their knowledge in this field to address the shortage of carpenters in Fiji.
For the sake of the development of rural areas, we stand ready to assist in the rebuilding of homes affected by TC Winston and other homes here in Honolulu. I would like to continue with studies to further my knowledge in carpentry.
Similar carpentry trainings will be conducted in the Central, Eastern and Western divisions. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC News.
World Red Cross Society Day was celebrated today with a focus on saving lives with a blood drive. The day falls on the birthday of Red Cross Society founder Henry Dunnett. In Levuka, a cleanup campaign was scheduled, while elsewhere a blood drive was held in partnership with the Fiji National Blood Service. Fiji Red Cross Society's marketing manager Mareta Tovata says this year they chose an event that would allow them to give back.
So we thought we'd celebrate it and do something for the community and do it with the community. So we're doing a blood drive here at Sakuna Park. We've invited people from the business houses to come down and donate blood.
Turning to world news, it was a battle between a young political outsider and a familiar face of the far right. And in the end, France voted in favor of the centrist Emmanuel Macron, making him the country's youngest ever president. Macron defeated his rival Le Pen with 65% of the votes. Ahead in sports with Jamie, pre-sale of Fiji Fact tickets begins, but joining us now is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. New agreement to increase passenger and freight capacity. And in growing Fiji, more tourists sign up for community tourism. Stay with us.
Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, the Fijian and Australian governments have agreed to increase passenger and freight capacity for the designated airlines. The two nations held successful talks on air service negotiations in Suva. Both parties have agreed to an additional entitlement of 500 seats per week for each country, which will provide an extra 1,000 seats. The two countries will also double their freight capacity from 70 to 140 tons per week. Both governments plan to update their air service agreement, which was initially signed in 1982. Further discussions on more flexible code sharing agreements is also in the pipeline. Now with a look at the activity on the stock market, here's Alyssa Petty from HSC Bank.
Inaka Rachel. Our local stock market was busy last week with a total of 72,607 shares exchanging hands, accumulating to $89,280. Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, or ATH, was the only company that recorded a price gain. The share price increased by 1 cent to close the week at $1.35. On the back of the positive share price gain recorded by ATH, the overall market value rose by 0.31% and concluded the week at a new all-time maximum value of $1.37 billion. The SPSE Total Return Index also gained 0.31% due to the capital gain and ended the week at a value of 3,320.66. And that's the wrap from our local stock market.
Thanks for the update. On to today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar closing at 3.22 and 46 cents respectively. Closer to home, the Australian dollar went up to close at 62 cents, while the New Zealand dollar weakened, closing at 67 cents. And the PNG Kina rose to close at 1.30. On to the commodities market. Oil prices rose over the weekend to close at $46.22 a barrel. Gold dropped slightly, closing at $1,228 an ounce. And silver followed suit to close at $16.30 an ounce. In Grand Fiji tonight, a high number of tourists are visiting our shores not for sun, sea and surf, but this time to work and help locals. Outrigger Fiji Beach Resort community tourism is attracting a massive amount of families who are giving to the villages. Akusita Tale reports more than 50 are building 2 classroom blocks at Tonua District School in Korotongo.
These visitors are adopting a new way of getting involved in local communities when holidaying on Fiji's Coral Coast. The $80,000 project is funded by Outrigger Fiji.
Coming from a place like Australia where, you know, we're very fortunate and most of us are well off, you know, it's really good to give back, and it's also really good to actually see, you know, the money being spent well.
It's good to see that the community's getting a lot of use out of or people donating some money while they're on holidays and helping out their time as well. It's a bit, it's hot work, but it's going to a good cause.
This supports Outrigger's commitment to provide an engaging holiday experience as well as uplifting the local culture and community.
We've already helped out young kids with their education and all their school needs. We've built classrooms for the Tonua school. We're meeting with the health minister. We're doing some work with the hospital. So yeah, we're very dedicated to our local community.
Locals are all praises, saying it'll be easier to send children to school.
This project has really helped us a lot. They've completed construction of walkway for the school, built a kindergarten hall, and in front here is a 2 classroom block. Not only that, but tourists from Outrigger has also helped our children by providing school stationeries.
A participation fee of $100 for adults and $60 children is mostly channeled into community projects. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
And that's business this evening. Jamie joins you now with the latest in sports.
Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. At least 2 debutants for Fiji Sevens in Paris. And Rakiraki eyes upset at Vodafone Fiji Fact. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुपु रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम is hot. I love मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन तक ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम, it's hot.
The Canberra Raiders Rugby League side has signed Fiji Sevens Olympic gold medalist Masiwesi Ndakuwanga for the remainder of the year. Ndakuwanga arrived in Canberra yesterday and went through medical checks today, standing at 190 centimeters and weighing in at over 100 kilograms. Raiders recruitment and high performance manager Peter Mulholland says 23-year-old Ndakuwanga is capable of playing multiple positions. The Rakiraki football team is out to spoil the party for the big guns at the Fiji Fact this weekend. This will be its first time in the Premier Division since being promoted, and the Westerners believe it has what it takes to topple the bigger teams. Red Day reports.
They may be considered as minnows by many, but the Rakiraki football side has other plans on their mind.
You can see the results from the last league match we drew with Latoka. We were winning for the whole 90 minutes, and in the extra time Latoka scored.
Australia-based Sam Lal has been helping the team as a technical advisor. Lal's teachings were quite helpful in the team's 1-1 draw against National League leaders Lautoka a fortnight ago.
The difference that Sam Lal has done with the team is the result shows for itself.
The team is not thinking far ahead and is focusing on its first match against Suva.
It's going to be a big task for the 3 big games for this weekend, like playing Suva and Rewa and Lautoka, the last game. So those 3 games are very important. The first one is very important to play.
The Maroons face Suva at 1 p.m. in the tournament opener at Nurseries Ratuzakambau Park on Friday. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, tickets for this year's Vodafone Fiji Fact went on sale today. Spectators can purchase the tickets at $10 for adults and $4 for children. Fans are being advised to get their tickets beforehand to avoid disappointment.
No, sorry, has been in terms of crowd, it has been good for us. So we also we expect a good crowd.
At least 2 players will make their debut for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team at this week's Paris tournament. Coach Gareth Beba has taken 4 new players in his travelling team and is expected to use 2 of them this weekend. Rohit Deo has more.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Beba has a few more days remaining before naming his final squad for the Paris tournament.
Paolo and Josh are good, hard-working, disciplined players. They play the game hard and tough. They're developing in terms of their skill level as well. They've got good fitness levels, and they've got to learn the game over the last sort of month, 6 weeks since they've been in with us. And as far as Glenn and Samu are concerned, they both play sort of rover and winger, and they give a little bit of an edge in terms of ability to break the line.
Beba says the 4 new players have been impressive in their respective positions.
They've come in, they followed what they need to do, and they're disciplined with what they do at all times, and that's what I ask of the squad all the time, is to work hard and be disciplined. And then obviously then when you're looking for that X factor on top of that.
Forward Seterekin Bitoniata has played with some of the new players and says they will adopt well on the international scene.
Yeah, we've already, some of us we already play with them, so yeah, they got some good skills with them, so you know that we can help the team. Yeah.
Fiji takes on Samoa in their opening match at 11:26 p.m. on Saturday. Australia and Russia are the other teams in our pool. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Surfer Tevita Ngukila believes he needs to put in a lot of work before going into this year's Fiji Pro. Ngukila won last week's wildcard entry tournament and will be the only Fijian to compete at the international meet next month. And if it wasn't already a challenge going into a competition with some of the best in the business, he's scheduled to surf against the tournament's top seed in the first round.
I'll be coming up against John Florence in the first heat, and he's, the world champion and the current #1, and he surfs so amazing. So I think I'm going to have to put in a lot of time out here and a lot of practice out at Cloudbreak to stand any chance against him.
Sydney FC won its first Hyundai A-League title, defeating Melbourne Victory 4-2 on penalty kicks last night. Still with football, Tahiti lost the Beach Football World Cup final 6-0 to Brazil in the Bahamas today. That's it from sports this evening. Join Angie later on with a weather update. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, a look at how NASA is using 3D metal printers to advance space exploration. That and more after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo la ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabale, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, the new Nintendo 2DS XL came as a surprise to the tech world. In the lead up to the release of the Switch, Nintendo sprung its new portable hardware. We have the lovely Angie back with us tonight with the very latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's a start to another beautiful week. Though the day started off with rain, but as it went on, the sun made a show with winds that were quite stronger than usual. But there is no cyclone to worry about. Now, taking a look in the west, it was initially dry with bright spells, which kind of pushed away the rain clouds. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was mostly dry with clear skies with this much chance of showers later tonight. And up in Vanuatu, it was partly sunny with humid conditions. At sea, it's pretty rough. South to southeast winds will be gusting till 35 knots with rough to very rough seas. And for the tides, the next low tide tonight will be at 11:18 with a high tide tomorrow morning at 5:30. Sunrise will be at 6:22. Also tomorrow, Suva and Savu Savu will see few showers while the rest will be all good excluding the evening bit, where the whole nation will experience few showers. Tomorrow's temps, Nandi will be hot with highs of 32 and lows of 23. And looking further on to Wednesday, we will see some outbreaks of heavy showers. And that, Jackie, is our windy FPC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, with the second term of school starting tomorrow, we ask the public, are you ready to send your kids back to school?
Yes, I'm ready to send my children back to school and them to finish their education this year.
Yes, I am ready. And I want them to go back to school so that they can continue to do their studies.
Yeah. Ready for the school, everything is fine, and hope they will start tomorrow.
Recapping the main stories, no repairs to Penang mill reiterates Prime Minister. MSAF investigates sunken vessel and work on new Rakiraki market begins. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, are we doing enough to help people with depression? 78% said no. This week we are asking, will a Rambuka and Chaudhry coalition affect the NFP? Visit our FPC website to answer. Before we go, tonight's shot of the day, another beautiful sunset scene. The picture was taken at the Pacific Island air hangar Nandi by Josefa Rokolekai. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
हमारा नाम संत कुमार है, हम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है और ताबुआ में सबसे बेहाल रेडियो फीजी 2 है यार।
हम बिना विमलेश रकाविंदी ताबुआ से रेडियो फीजी 2 हमारा सबसे फेवरेट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम ब्रूस राव है, रकीरकी मार्केट वेंडा और रेडियो फीजी 2 देश के धड़कन 1954 से हम सुनता है।
हम कबूली ताबुआ रहता है, हमारा नाम है रमेश चंद और हमारी मछली के धंधा है और हम सब टाइम रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।